Talofa and welcome to the Global Pacifica Success Podcast. I'm Andrew Fa'avali, your host. Every week I'll be chatting with successful Pacific people from across the globe, unpacking their stories and more importantly, picking out insights, lessons and golden nuggets you can use to live your best life too. All right, so welcome back to the Global Pacifica Success Podcast. We've got an awesome show today because we're here in the Philippines, we're here in Manila, and I've got Jason Venu from CoverSure here from New Zealand. He's been showing me the sights around Manila. It's just awesome to have another Pacifica brother here halfway across the world, and so we'll dive into a story. Jason, thank you so much for joining us, and it's cool to be here in Philippines. First overseas show for us.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming, man.
Thanks for having me on board. It's awesome.
Cool. So we know you do insurance. We know you're based in New Zealand. Do you just want to give a little bit of a background into what you're doing in terms of CoverSure and how long you've been doing it? Just a brief snapshot.
Yeah.
And then we'll find out your backstory.
So CoverSure is an insurance brokerage that started in South Auckland about 4.5 years ago.
Awesome.
So we turned 5 in September. We look after clients all over New Zealand, and we then expanded our servicing operations here in the Philippines. So we now have an office here in Ortigas with a small team but growing, and we've been here I think for over a year now. So
Cool. So you're in Philippines. You're based in Auckland. Tell me how you got to be here, because I often joke that you're born and then you're on this podcast for Global Pacifica Success.
Yeah.
But what's your backstory? Were your parents migrants?
Yeah.
Did you grow up in South Auckland? What was going on there?
Yeah, so my parents are from Samoa. So my mum hails from Lavi Salimua and my dad from Whaliu.
Oh, cool.
They came here in the 80s, and I was born in Wellington, but grew up in South Auckland. So my dad worked at New Zealand Steel for about 25, 26 years. I went to Papakura High School, and then I did my last year at Rosal. Went to university to study computer graphic design, and then I got into debt. Had to pay it off, started to find a job. Dad was going to bail me out.
Yeah.
And I said, no, Dad, don't worry about it. It's not working for me at uni. I'll just find a job. So I started off at a call center at AA Insurance, worked my way up, and became a domestic broker at an insurance brokerage in Auckland. And after 3 years of that, I left and decided to do my own thing. So
Awesome. So your dad was working in the steel mill. What was your mum doing?
Mum was working as a laundry assistant at a rest home in Takanini.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so she'd been there, probably about 10 years, 10, 15 years, I'd say.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what about siblings?
I got 3 sisters, one passed away.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so I'm the oldest.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I've got 3 younger sisters. 2 of them are also living in South Auckland. They've got kids. I've got beautiful nieces, beautiful nephews.
Awesome.
Also, I am married, so got a beautiful wife back home with my 2 sons.
Cool. We got a similar story because my dad worked in the steel mill as well for 30 years, and I guess what I took out of that was, I guess that was back in the day when they just stayed in one job. And I think about myself, I didn't really stay in a job for more than 2 or 3 years throughout my career. But what I did take was the hard work. Did you get the same from your dad in the steel mill?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I think seeing my dad, there's no such thing as a free lunch.
Yeah.
It's probably something he's taught me. You work hard for what you get, but also don't get shortchanged.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do have to fight for what you're entitled to.
Yeah, cool.
So Dad was part of a union. He was a union man and
Oh, yeah.
was always there supporting his fellow workers and stuff in the union. So I got a lot of values out of him.
Cool. So you guys are based in Papakura. You went to school there. He was working in the steel mill in Waiuku, was it?
That's correct.
Yeah, in Waiuku. That's not Glenbrook, eh?
Yeah, Glenbrook.
Oh, that's Glenbrook.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And then you went through, so did you finish uni?
No, I didn't. No. I do have aspirations of going back.
Yeah?
I
think it'll add value?
I think it will, but also I think it's more of a personal thing for myself. Just to have something to formally recognise, formal recognition of education, right? It's something that my parents have always, that's why they moved here.
Yeah.
Well, not here, but to New Zealand,
Yeah.
to provide a better future for their kids and to help support their families back home. And I think for me, it's, I think it's something that I want to do for myself.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you did computer graphics?
Did computer graphic design. Yeah.
So you're naturally quite a creative guy?
Yeah, to some degree, yeah.
And are you still using those skills as an entrepreneur?
Yes, I am. Yeah, so I do like to do a bit of design on our social media platforms. Also just like with the website, have input there, but I didn't build our website. We actually have we use the graphic designer for all of that, and we have a team now that do our social media graphics. It's been a bit on the slow burn at the moment, but they're getting to a level where I'm happy with them going live soon.
Cool. So then let's go to Philippines, man, because we're far away. This place is awesome. It's so busy and it's got so much potential and heaps of it's just a buzz. What brought you here? Because I know you've got a apartment here that's the level at which you're kind of ingraining or embedding yourself into the Philippines. You've got an apartment and things like drivers and stuff like that, which is just the norm here for many people.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Yeah. So CoverSure's mission is to reach the uninsured.
Yeah.
So that's how it started. So New Zealand as a whole has 70% of people who have no form of income or living insurance.
Yeah.
Most of it being made of Pasifika and Māori. But I suppose the key thing is overall, it's everyone. There's no real specific.
Yeah.
And then what we found was that there was migrant workers coming into New Zealand that also weren't having or taking up insurance. So through an awesome opportunity, we partnered up with one. And they were bringing in workers from the Philippines. We then came here. We saw an opportunity and we grabbed it with both hands, and it just went from there. So one partner, we now work with 6 partners and one international recruitment company. And we look after migrant workers from Samoa, Fiji, South Africa, and obviously the Philippines. And why we set up our base here was because we did look for workers to help support our services in New Zealand, but we couldn't find any. And then we thought, well, actually we're getting a large amount of clients from the Philippines, maybe we should just actually open an office here, which we did. And the caliber and the quality of candidates that were coming through was jaw-dropping. I mean, I've got people working for me that have degrees and masters, and it's quite intimidating. They're probably one of the most respectful, hardworking people that I have on my team. And the level of empathy that they have for our clients is unmatched, I feel.
Cool. So 70% of New Zealand's uninsured?
Have no form of income or living insurance. The uptake of private health insurance is also really, really low. So what we found, just from my experience and our team's experience, is that, a lot of people, they can afford some form of insurance, whether it be very small or very high. The gap we found is the financial literacy piece, so how insurance works. What is the value of insurance to me as a person or to my family? So with CoverSure, what we do is we go in educating, teaching people the importance of why having insurance benefits you, but helps your family in a time of need. Because we place a lot of value on our cars and on our phones, but we don't place value on ourselves. And I think we sort of fail to see that, without ourselves working the 9 to 5, we wouldn't have been able to have the phone or the car or the house. You work so hard to buy a house, but then if all it takes is one event, whether it be a stroke that could be career ending. So if you had a stroke and you couldn't work anymore, if you have the right insurance with us or with anyone, we can protect you about 70 to 75% of your income from now to the age of 65, which means you can still pay off the house and help your children through school and not go without.
So there's income protection, the key one, and then also life.
Life insurance, mortgage protection.
And
there's trauma cover, and you've got obviously, life insurance.
Cool, man. So we've talked about the stats, 70% are uninsured. You're a Pacific business, but for the mainstream?
It's so I regard CoverSure as a mainstream insurance brokerage that just happens to be owned by Pasifika.
Cool. We have a similar kind of ethos there. And why do you take that ethos?
I think for me it's just something that my parents have instilled in me. We help everyone. So and by helping everyone, we're not just lifting one group up, we're lifting everyone up, elevating. And I'm a big believer in elevating everyone to a level of cover that's going to benefit them and their family.
I was thinking of New Zealand actually just now. But
because of the toffee pop.
Is our level of insurance impacted by ACC?
A lot of like I won't lie, we have come across some clients that have this misconception that ACC is going to back them up when something goes wrong. And ACC can help them, but only if they've had an accident. But also the service of ACC isn't as the same as what you would get from having private insurance. And I think in my eyes, something is better than nothing when it comes to private insurance. Because right now, New Zealand's going through a cost of living crisis, a high cost of living crisis, and not many people can afford it. But by speaking to us or speaking to an financial advisor, there's so many options and plans on how to navigate that. And like I say, something is better than nothing.
So because Pasifika people are collective people, they live in mobs and groups and stuff like that, have you seen some creative ways that they can get into insurance if financial barriers are not?
So one of the things that we do is we have what we call the roundtable discussions. So we're coming across mums and dads that are in their 50s and they're getting to a point where they can't afford insurance on their own. So they start to think about cancelling, or they're at that point where they're just going to cancel it because they can't afford it. But these are the same parents that now have 3, 4, 5 grown adult children that are working really good jobs. And by chipping in, they can still help their parents pay for insurance, because if you've had life insurance for over 5 years, 10 plus years, life insurance is basically a guaranteed payout upon death. The only time it doesn't pay out is if you've said that you don't have diabetes, but we know you do, right? Or you've lied about having that heart attack. And there's obviously a suicide thing where you commit suicide for the next amount of time, it doesn't respond. But these are families that we come across that have had insurance for such a long time and then want to cancel it, and the payout I've seen is $100,000 plus. So we have a round table hui with the family members and go, look kids, there's only 2 things that are guaranteed in life, that's death and taxes. Mum and dad will be going soon. Well, not soon, but they will go. But when they go, this is what they can leave you to help pay for the funeral, to help maybe set you and your family up for a deposit for a first home. And all you need to do is maybe chip in $5 a week each to help your family pay for that. Once they understand the concept of insurance and how it can not just benefit them, but benefit potentially future families, it's a surreal feeling. They get that spark or that eureka moment.
So, as a Pasifika leader, then for a mainstream business, what about Pasifika do you adopt and embed into leading CoverSure? And not only in New Zealand, but also Philippines, because, with my brief kind of, I've only been here for a few days, or 4 days or something, but I've seen, the similarities with the culture here and our cultures are massive. So how do you embed your Pasifika values?
I think it's really important that the value, a lot of companies I see or have met or gone into, they have their values posted all over the wall. But you meet the leader of the business and they don't actually lead by their own, by their own values. So I think that's the key thing, is that our values aren't just on the wall. Our value is how I act as a leader. And that's just by being empathetic, not just to our clients, but also to our staff, being there in their time of need, or just showing support, being, what's the word, being truthful, being honest, respectful was one of the biggest values that I find pays dividends. When you show your team members that there's a genuine care for them, it pays off in dividends. And you don't do it for that, you just do it because it's the right thing to do.
Just how we're raised.
Exactly, And I think the cool thing, as you mentioned before, the Samoan culture is the faith as well is very similar. So whenever I'm here in the Philippines with our team, or even back home actually in New Zealand, whenever I'm there and we have lunch together, I nominate one person to say grace. That's what we do. We always, give thanks before we break bread and go from there.
As a Pasifika business owner, have you had many mentors?
I have,
From any Pasifika ones?
That's a good question. Do I have any? I mean, my dad's always been one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. See, I've got, and I say my dad because there's two guys. There's my dad, his name's Venu, and there's a mentor, Steve Boddicker.
Oh, yeah.
And these two guys, both in their 60s,
Yeah.
but they cut through the noise.
Yeah, yeah.
So whenever I come up with a great idea, or whenever I'm going through a tough time, or whenever I think someone's wronged me, and I'm just going through this spiral,
Yeah.
their voices cut through. And I think it's important you have that one person that can cut through the noise and get straight to you.
Yeah, cool.
You know, I can have my wife talking in my ear.
Yeah.
Can have other mentors or support people talking in my ear. Without those two, they cut straight through the noise, get right through.
We talked a bit about it, but, you know, is it Naomi?
Yeah, Naomi Valentine, yeah.
Yeah. It's Tongan. She exited her business with $1 billion payout.
She sold her business for, I think, just over $1 billion to Daiichi Life.
All right, so what's it like getting access to her?
Oh, well, I think that's the cool thing is that I regard Naomi as a friend.
Yeah.
You know, and there was a time where our business went through, well, CoverSure went through a disruption.
Oh, yeah.
And to be able to pick up the phone and call someone like her,
Yeah.
and just give you that advice, support, and guidance through turbulent times, it really helped us get through. She's probably one of the most inspiring people that I've ever met in my lifetime. Yeah, she's her backstory, and if you ever get an opportunity to talk to her, her story is amazing. The trials and tribulations that she went through, not just as a Pacifica woman, but as a woman that grew up poor. She didn't have the best family upbringing.
Yeah.
But also she started a business in an industry that was mainly male dominated.
So she was insurance as well.
That's correct. Yeah.
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 So you talk about the trials and stuff. Is this part and parcel? Because, you know, a lot of people think that business is all these kinds of trips, like going to the Philippines and stuff like that. But there's trials and stuff. And
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there's always challenges.
Yeah.
I think, I think a lot of people see the good stuff online, or they see the good stuff on social media, but they don't see the hard stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I mean.
So what's the truth?
It's hard.
Long hours?
Yeah, long hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, long hours. A lot of, and I'm the type of guy where if I get an idea, regardless of what time it is, I'm up. And then I'm on the laptop looking at it. I'm writing down. I've got notebooks.
Yeah.
Just with ideas and notes and stuff on how to, not just. I think for me it's not just how to better our business, but also better the outcomes of our clients and also our team, and trying to find solutions to problems that don't even exist yet, but that could potentially exist. That's really interesting.
So you don't get much sleep?
I get enough sleep. I think the good thing here is in Manila, I actually get more sleep, but that's just thanks to traffic. It takes minimum an hour to get anywhere. So, I'm usually having a good snooze in the back of the car.
Yeah. Man, so what's the plan with your teams in New Zealand? So what are the main parts of the business that the Philippines team look after?
So I think the cool thing is that the Philippines team play a really, really big, they play an important part of our business.
Yeah. So
they're not just, I think this is how I describe it, it's not CoverSure New Zealand and then support.
Yeah.
The New Zealand team and the Philippines team intertwine.
Yeah, yeah.
So by working together, we're able to achieve the outcomes that I've set. And what we did was back in New Zealand is I think this was about 8 months ago, we had a mentor come in actually.
Yeah.
And we found that by breaking down each of your business steps, and putting it on Post-it note, and then put it on the wall.
Yeah.
And then have another wall, Philippines, New Zealand,
yeah.
and what can be done by both. We found that close to 70% of our tasks could be done overseas with our Philippines team. Yeah. So they're not just admin people. Yeah. They're a big part of our team. They speak to our clients. They help with resolutions. We have one that does design.
Yeah.
Right. We've also got some people just helping out with some quality assurance stuff as well, because we're really big on making sure that we've got accountability measures in place, as well as measuring performance and customer outcomes. That's great. So the feedback that we get from our clients has been overwhelmingly positive.
Oh, cool.
So our team phone every single one of our clients almost at least twice a year, I would say, and our clients love that. To get not a random phone call, but to get to receive an inbound call from your insurance company, and it's called a wellbeing call. Just to see how you're going.
Oh, cool.
Have there been any life changes? Has anything happened? And from those calls, I kid you not, we've been able to make 2 claims out of that because they never thought it was a claim. So just by asking, oh, how are you? Has anything happened in the last few months? Oh, well, actually, I did have this happen to me, yada, yada, yada. Oh, actually, I think that's a claim. Let's check it out.
Yeah, because even my house insurance, it just clicks over, but I don't really know if the term's still covered from when I first bought the house. You know what I mean? And, we just kind of guess and we just hope. But if I got an inbound, then I could just have a little conversation, because I'm just guessing right now whether we're covered or not, to be honest.
There's so many built-in benefits with like certain products. So with life insurance and most products, if you have a life event, so if you've had a baby, or if you've just purchased a new home, you can increase your cover without having to go through underwriting again. It's amazing what updates we get just from outbound clients, and this is on top of sending the what we call them, the emails. Right? We found that we hardly got any responses from sending out those weekly or monthly emails. But when we started doing outbound calls,
true.
We and then we also got opportunities from that.
You could
upsell and all of that. But I think that the key thing here is that we never did the outbound calls for that. We did the outbound calls because we just thought, well, you know what? Wouldn't it be nice to just get a phone call from your insurance company and just ask the question? How are you going? How is everything? And we have come across some sad examples where some of our clients have been made redundant. But because they've now been able to tell us, we've been able to support them, whether it be through helping them connect to a budgeting advisor or putting their policy on hold, like a premium holiday where they're still covered but they're just not paying for X amount of time, because that little bit of financial aid helps them big time, and they're still covered. So
So you were raised in Papakura and you're still there. You've bought there. Why'd you go from Papakura to Roseville anyway?
Funny story. So I did I did graphic design at Papakura High, and then I think that was it. Yeah, that's right. On my last year, they didn't have the class anymore. Like not many people were doing it again, and I was like, oh man, it's my last year. And I genuinely thought that I was going to see myself heading down that pathway of graphic design. So I ended up going to Roseville because they still had a graphics class. So I went there, and man, it was different, eh? Yeah, it was different.
How come?
Oh, so actually, okay, I'll tell you why. So I got friends from Papakura High School, love them to bits. Friends from Roseville College, love them to bits. But when I had one of my friends buy a car who was from Papakura High School. And the first thing he did was he went to the movies and took us out. You know what I mean? Right? Which is cool. I appreciate that. Had another friend like a week or so later, he bought a car. His own car.
From Roseville?
Yep, from Roseville College, So he was from Roseville College, he left, bought a new car. I was with him, and the first thing he did, he got car insurance. And I was like,
what are you doing?
Oh, what's car insurance? Like, why are you buying car insurance for? And she's like, oh, I don't know, it's just something my dad taught me, and this is how it works, and if something happens. And I was just like, oh man. I told my mate from Papakura High, bro, I think you should buy car insurance, man, because you just never know, right? What do you know? A month later, his car got stolen. But he took the advice, he got car insurance.
Oh, cool.
So he got a payout. You know, he probably was the first person in his family to have car insurance. You know, and it's just I think that's the biggest difference is that when our parents come from Samoa, they're not taught about insurance. You know, whereas my friends on the other side of the fence, their parents were taught about insurance. Their parents taught about insurance and financial literacy. So I think that's the key thing is that, you know, sometimes just planting that seed can really help benefit your families.
Yeah, man.
True story.
Who would have thought about getting car insurance at that age?
I mean, I bought my car. I didn't think about it.
Yeah, we just wanted
know.
to get new rims and
Yeah. Just
which kind of heightened the need for insurance.
go to the movies, watch. Yeah, take the boys out on your restricted license.
So how come you didn't move out of Papakura?
Actually, I did.
Oh, yeah.
I moved to the North Shore.
Oh, you said
Because I was working there at the time.
Is that where the insurance company?
Yeah, I was working in insurance sales, and then I was based in Sydney, and I took an offer to work out of their branch in North Shore. So, when you travel from Papakura to Greenfield,
how long would it be?
It was like 2 hours in traffic.
Man.
Yeah, so I was spending probably about 3.5 hours off my day just on the motorway. And then, so me and my partner, we made the move. Well, let's just go flatting in the North Shore.
Oh, yeah, sweet.
Yeah, that was different too. It was very quiet. Yeah, I liked it. We were there for 2 years, and then we moved back to Papakura, and we haven't. Yeah.
So what about this transition from being an employee for, was it AA?
Yeah.
For AA.
Yeah.
And then what kind of got you thinking, man, I can do this myself and I could probably do it better? I'm just assuming.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I never thought I could do it better.
Oh, yeah?
I never thought I could do it better.
How come?
It just never crossed me. I think I was just, so I left AA Insurance and I worked for an insurance brokerage called PIC.
Oh, yeah.
I was a domestic broker looking after South Auckland. Amazing company to work for, founded by an amazing leader named Mike Garner, and he sadly passed away.
Oh.
And then I walked in one day and I said, you know what, I'm going to leave because I just want to do something else.
Yeah.
So I resigned, and then a couple of weeks later, another mate of mine got me into life insurance. He said, look, this is how you can do it. And I went, cool. So that's how I started. But before I took that path, because I was going from the safety of being an employee to now being a contractor or self-employed.
Oh, so when you left that, is it PIC?
PIC, yeah.
So you were now self-employed, but contracting under their brand?
No, not under their brand, just being an independent insurance agent.
Oh, yeah.
So having to find your own source of income, and your source of income is clients, right? So how do you do that? But I just really wanted to give it a go.
Yeah.
So before I even resigned from PIC, and this was before I even knew what I was going to do.
Yeah.
Right? I had no idea what I was going to do. So before I resigned from PIC, I actually called up my dad and I said, look, I'm going to leave PIC. I don't have anything to go to.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm calling you is because, one, my wife Pam told me to call you. She thinks thinks you're going to talk me out of this bad decision.
Yeah.
But two, the other reason is that if you do support me, I'm going to need your help. And he goes, oh, well, what help do you need? And I said, I'm going to need your help pay my mortgage while I figure out what I'm going to do with my life.
What did he say?
Well, he asked me a question. He said, well, will it make you happy? And I said, yeah, I think it will.
Wow.
And then he just said, okay, do it. So I called up my wife, Pam, and I said, hey, Dad said I can do it. And then she came and saw me, and then, but then when she said that when she saw me at the cafe, she said she just saw my face and she just said, yeah, you got to do it. You're not happy.
Yeah.
Or there's something there that can make you happier, and so without, I don't think I would have done it without hearing that. Just do it.
Father's love, eh?
Yeah, and but it's him taking a leap of faith on me.
Yeah.
Right? So then, fast forward, I started this, and then I was sort of still looking for an employed job. Actually, I was just trying to see what else was out there, and it wasn't until someone said, "Hey, you can go down this road and be your own boss, be an insurance agent, sell life insurance." And I said, "Okay, it's scary, but I want to do it." But I've always been employed.
Yeah,
I've worked part-time at a pet food shop. I've worked part-time at the warehouse.
Yeah,
then going into, so I've always been employed, and I was scared. So I actually called up and he'll remember this, I called up Chris Curtin. So Chris Curtin was the old CEO of AA Insurance. And I flicked him a message and I said, look, Chris, I'm really sorry. Can I give you a call because I'm at a crossroads?
Wow.
Yeah. So I gave him a call, and this must have been like 6 o'clock at night. Yeah. I gave him a call, and then I told him what was going on. I said, well, look, I can go down this path, and I'll be unemployed, but I'll be self-employed. And then he goes, okay, well, what's holding you back? And I said, well, I'm scared that if I go down this road that I won't make any money. And he goes, okay, well, and then what?
Yeah.
You know, and he goes, you know what, Jason, no matter what path you go to, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
If you go down the path of self-employment and it doesn't work out, then just come back, you know, or if you go down the path of employment and you don't like it, then just give self-employment a go. No matter what path you go down, it's not the end of the world. And I think that was the thing for me. Like once he had put that scope into it, it really isn't the end of the world. And with that support of my dad and my wife, I went down the self-employment route, and here we are in the Philippines, man.
Out of it, eh? But you can kind of like glance over the fact that you reached out to the CEO of AA.
Yes, yeah.
But that's actually a key part, eh?
It is,
so
yeah.
that's two sides. The fact that he's gracious enough to come back to you, but the other side is like, the courage to reach out to him.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, it's funny you say that because, you know, I was looking at his number for ages. I must have been just like, oh, should I message him? Should I not? Should I message him? Should I not? So you're absolutely right, because had I not messaged him, I probably would have gone down a different path. And it's funny how a whole lot of small series of challenges can lead up to an awesome outcome. Because again, even the challenge just to decide to resign was in itself a thing. You know, like no one just decides to resign without nothing to go to, right?
Yeah.
And then again, oh man, I'm scared to call my dad because he's gonna talk me out of it or pull my head in. But no, even that surprised me. And then, so a whole lot of small things add up.
So then you got the gut feeling, okay, I'm going to go for this.
Yeah.
You know, with the support of really key people.
Yeah.
What was the first thing you do when you know that you're going to go be self-employed?
First thing I did, funny. First thing I did was, well, how am I going to do this? So I started looking up YouTube videos.
Oh yeah, cool.
You know, how I think the biggest thing is, how do you get leads?
Yeah.
You know, how do you get clients? Because you're a nobody with no brand, no reputation out there.
Were you just going to be Jason Venu, or
it started off as Jason Venu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it started off as Jason Venu. Funny, and then went to a bakery in Papakura, and across the like next door to the bakery was a website design company, and I sort of went, oh, you know, I need a website. I'm gonna go in and meet this guy. And I met this guy. His name's Abdullah. He's the CEO of Venu Digital.
Oh yeah.
And started off in good old Papakura, and he's now got an office in the city with a team all overseas as well, supporting his business. Yeah. So when I met him, I said to him, look, man, you don't know me, I don't know you. This is what I'm doing. I'm doing it because of this.
Yeah.
And I don't have any money to pay you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he honest, and I just thought, you know, is there any like system or anything that I could, like a grant or something that I could get? So you know what the bro did for me? He said to me, man, I'm going to build your website and you can just pay me when you can. And he's like, man, but what if my business fails? He goes, oh, well, that's the risk I'm taking. But he said to me, but I believe in your vision. I believe in your purpose. And I know that you're going to come back to me because the second website I built for you is going to cost 3 times more than the first one. And so he built this, the first website he built for me, beautiful. It was probably one of the, in my opinion, my biased opinion. But actually in the opinions of others as well, I won't lie. It was probably one of the best websites I had ever seen for insurance.
Yeah.
You know, he actually really understood the concept of trying to reach out just to help support. We didn't want to sell insurance. We just wanted to educate.
Yeah.
And so he's built, I think, the third version of our website. Yep. Yeah. And
scaled
so
up the cost.
Scaled up the cost. So the third one cost 4 times as more than the first one. But again, I think, you know, and yeah, we had other designers reach out to us saying, oh, we can do it for cheaper, we can do it more. But I'm a big believer, like, you know, if you're with me on my rainiest day, you're going to be with me on my best days. And again, there's quite a, you know, there's a small group of people that have been there with me on my most rainiest of days, but are now with me on my good days, and it's just getting better.
So that's another thing, man. That's another example of courage, because you just walk into this website graphic design place in Papakura, and then you just ask them how to do it. I think the website process is important because you start to refine your message, you start to refine all the real fundamentals of your business.
Yeah.
Right. So then you get that, and then what else in terms of that early part? Because I think a lot of people who will tune in are like kind of sitting on the cusp and they want to jump.
Yeah.
And they're saying, because a lot of people believed in you, like the website guy, the AA guy, your dad, your wife.
Yeah.
So what happens after you've got that belief as a fuel to...
I think, I won't lie, it can start to get to your head.
Yeah.
When you start seeing success coming in, you start looking at the bank account and you're like, whoa, I've never had that much in before. But I think it's having like my mentor, actually my first mentor is still with me now. And he's probably, I regard him as a father figure, my best friend Steve.
Yeah.
Grounded me very quickly.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, grounded me very quickly. And again, he was with me on my rainiest day when I only had I think I remember $37 in the account.
Oh, really?
And he gave me a big boot up the arse and said, hey, we got to do this. We got to do this.
Yeah.
Here's the outcomes. And all I needed to see was the numbers and the pathway of what I needed to do. The rest was on me.
So how'd you get leads?
So that was through, I reached out to this lady named Mez from Coconut Wireless.
Oh, yeah. I've seen this stuff everywhere.
Yeah. And I said, look.
You reached out again?
I reached out and I said, look, you don't know me. I don't know you. But I really want to help the community. And I really need your help. So she gets a lot of businesses reaching out to her and she just turns them off. But her test is, okay, you come to me and meet me here at this time, this day. So I did. I cancelled everything. I bought coffee and I went over there to meet her. And then when she saw me, again, when I told her what I was doing, what my purpose is, my mission, she said, okay, I'm going to help you. And so she gave me a strategy on how to put together a campaign on Facebook.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And from there, we grew the page from just family members, where it was like 100 likes, to then over 3,000.
Oh, cool.
And from there, we started generating exposure.
Yeah.
But I think I should go back a step. My first group of leads were actually my friends, and family and friends. Yeah. I think for them to take a leap of faith on this new guy.
Yeah.
That's, it cuts deep.
Yeah.
Because these are people's lives we're talking about. These are people's, like, when it's their rainy day, I need to deliver.
Yeah.
Because that's insurance, right?
Yeah.
It's not like you go buy a car, you take the car home with you.
It really happens on an event, which is usually pretty deep.
Yeah, I mean, you got people that are paying like maybe $500, $1,200, $3,000, even $5,000 a year just for a piece of paper that says, if you have a heart attack, I will be there.
Yeah.
And you got to deliver. So for my friends and family who just no hesitation, which was like really, it's there's no words to describe that.
Yeah.
To support me and my family in my first days, that's what got us through.
Awesome, man. A lot of people have helped you and served you and, given you boosts and confidence and stuff. But, like I had the privilege a couple of days ago to come to your office and in Makati here in Manila and see some of the stuff you're doing. And I saw some of the stuff that you're doing in terms of feeding the homeless here and, providing education programs. You want to just...
So we partnered up with an organization here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And 100% of everything that we donate to them goes directly to the children. So they have volunteers. They cook on their own time. They cook in their own kitchens. They pay for their own power. They pay for their own petrol. But all they needed was the resources to do it.
Yeah.
So at CoverSure, we feed close to, and on some months, over 2,000 children a month here in the Philippines.
That's awesome, man.
It's something that we're really proud of.
Yeah.
Do we boast it on social media? No, we don't. I'm a big believer in we don't benefit off other people's misfortunes. Again, we just do it because it's the right thing to do. And we've been, so to date, we've fed over 46,000, I believe.
Wow.
46,000.
And just to give context, because I saw the photos and I saw that they were these families and these babies and all that lived on an active landfill.
That's right, yeah.
And just tell us a story about, I saw you holding a baby and feeding the baby. And,
So it was my first mission to a landfill.
Yeah.
Because usually we've done streets all around Manila. And when I'm back in New Zealand, the team are still doing feeding programs all over the Philippines. So they'll traverse through rivers and jungles and forests just to get to a village.
Yeah.
This one, they took me out to a landfill, an active landfill. And I was curious because I was like, well, what are we doing here? And they said, well, there's a community that live on this active landfill in Cavite. There's probably about 200 people living there. No access to running water.
Yeah.
They live off scraps, right? So we get there, and they, you got these kids who haven't eaten a decent meal for potentially weeks.
Yeah.
And they just line up, patiently waiting. They're not making any fuss. They're not feed me quickly, feeding me now.
Yeah.
And they're not. Yeah, they live in a landfill. Yeah, they're dirty, but this is a different kind of dirty. This is like layers of dirt. This is caked on dirt. And when there was a baby there, and so the baby wanted to come to me, but the mum can't let her come to me, and I sort of asked the chaperone, "Oh, what's with the mum? Does she not want me to hold her baby?" And she said, "Oh no, the mum's scared that you're going to get dirty."
Oh, right.
And I was just like, "Oh man," almost bored my eyes out. Wait, we're here feeding these people and they're worried about me. And I sort of look around and they're so worried to get us dirty because their hands were dirty, so they didn't even want to touch our hands. They just how they grabbed the meals, they were sort of doing it in such a way where they didn't touch you at all. And I just went, nah, stuff this, give me the baby. Went and grabbed the baby, and baby's not really nappy. But you know what, that's the least of my worries, right? And so held that baby the whole mission.
Oh yeah, cool.
And I think, well, at the end of the day, they're human. They're human. Like, well, why, for them to think that they're beneath us, that was sad. It's just like, no, you're not beneath us. We're just here because we're in a position to help you. You know what I mean? That's the way we should be. Yeah, it's pretty shocking the levels of poverty that you see around. The Philippines and stuff like that. There's 118 million or so. So it's a massive country. They're all really beautiful people. It's just been an eye opener for me here. So what happens next for you? You've got your operation in New Zealand. You've got your operation here in the Philippines. To go. So we've got some cool initiatives in the works. Going live hopefully in the next 3 or 4 months. Those initiatives will allow us to grow our Philippines team even more, but also help grow our New Zealand team as well. CoverSure turns 5 in September.
Congrats.
So we're definitely looking forward to that. So to have a business to make it to 2 years is awesome, but to make it to 5, it's pretty surreal. But I suppose, as you know, like when you're a business owner, time just flies. It doesn't feel.
Just on the grind, eh?
The pains and struggles just grow with you. So I think that's us. I think we're always looking. The key thing that we always look for is innovation. So, but innovation that not just serves, my family or our team, but also our clients. It has to tick all 3. Because without our clients, we've got nothing. But without our team members, we've got no clients. And then without them, how can I support my families? So I think that's what we're always looking for. But we have some awesome initiatives going out live in the next few months.
So you're here for another couple of months?
No, just another couple of weeks. Then I'm back. Back home, and then I'll be back here in September with my wife and my 2 sons. So they're looking forward to coming. And the cool thing is with my son, he's 9 now. And he's been a part of the CoverSure journey pretty much from the start, and he still remembers certain things. He still remembers when the office was in the spare bedroom, and then he remembers when our office was in the double car garage, and we had our team working out of there. We had our team driving from like all over Auckland to come work in this garage in Papakura.
Oh, true.
So to make it feel better, I got the garage carpeted. But and then so he remembers that, and it's really cool to see him see that growth. You know, because now we're in this beautiful office at the Pacific Business Hub.
Oh yeah.
Laura Kyle Hall.
Oh yeah, cool.
So she's CEO of there, and it's an awesome office. We love it there, and now we've got this awesome office as you've seen here in the Philippines.
Yeah, beautiful.
So I can't wait for him to see what I've been working on, because I think that's one of the other struggles as well. Like it's it's all smiles on the surface here, but right now I'm thinking about them.
Yeah.
Like I'm always thinking about my kids, my wife.
Yeah.
But I think my son understands why I'm here.
Yeah.
He,
Yeah, I think people see these kinds of trips and think, oh man, that looks cool. But man, for me, even just one day, I was supposed to go home on Monday, tomorrow, Tuesday, but I booked it for tonight. Even one day home earlier will make a big difference to get back to the kids. But bro, I even appreciate, like being here. The first day I was here, you picked me up. You took me and made some introductions for our business as well. We've got a team here as well, and you've made introductions, so I can see the reciprocity thing happening, and the kind of stewardship thing where you're blessed to bless others. Man, just lighten it up. If you could invite 3 people to a dinner, whether they're dead or alive, or you knew them or not, who would you invite?
Oh man. Sort of dinner.
Whatever dinner you want, man.
Well, I have to invite my wife because I'll get in trouble.
So that's a tick.
Man, so shucks, I don't know. That's a good question. I'd have to say, like, if I name 3 people right now, it would be like Naomi Valentine, Steve Boddicker, and my dad.
Oh, awesome.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah. Those are your mentors.
Yeah. Three people who have, to some degree, whether big or small, have helped not only shaped my business, but also have helped shape me as a person.
Yeah.
And obviously my wife's the biggest support rock. She's a given. Right. But those are 3 names that stick out. And then if we're talking famous people, right? Who else is there? There's like, I always want to meet that Barack Obama.
Oh yeah,
Barack Obama. Yeah. He's game changing.
So we know Naomi Valentine.
Yes.
She was in insurance. She built it up and exited over $1 billion. What about Steve?
Yeah. So Steve Boddicker, he's a chartered accountant by trade. He also used to work at PRC Insurance Brokers. Oh yeah. And was more or less, I would say, their CFO. Type guy.
So it's happened that way.
So he's familiar with growing businesses and and also that. But I think Steve, he's more for me. Like being business savvy, but also that bit of business etiquette, right?
Yeah.
And one of the coolest things as well is that cash flow is king.
Yeah.
And that's one thing he taught me. Is that it's great that you're making profit. But without cash flow coming in on a consistent basis, it's just going to go down. So he was really, really big in teaching me how to read financial statements. Helping me understand certain patterns. So he's been really instrumental there for me.
Cool. And then the final one, man, if you had a song that was going to be the soundtrack for your life, what do you reckon it would be?
Oh man. What would your song be?
No, I'm asking the question.
Well, actually, there's one song I listen to every day, and it's on my playlist. And I have different playlists, but there seems to be this one song seems to have made it on all my 9 playlists. I've got 9 playlists, right? This one song's on all 9, and it's what is it? Journey. Don't stop believing. No, don't stop believing.
Who sings it?
journey.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh no, you never think that coming from me. And then after on 3 of those playlists, after that is KMC How Bizarre, and then it just goes.
So how come Journey that Don't Stop Believing?
I don't know. It's just something that really, I think that's how I got here. Yeah. Just don't stop believing in yourself.
Yeah.
Don't stop believing in what you're wanting to achieve.
Yeah.
Because there are people or certain things out there that try to deviate your path.
Yeah.
But I think if you believe that it's the right thing to do, or if you believe it's within your purpose or your mission, don't stop.
Cool.
Just keep going at it.
We'll leave it there, man. Thanks, Us.
Us.
All right. Well, yeah. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for being my tour guide around here in Manila. It's good to see another Pacifica brother around here, but also doing well over in NZ. Yeah, man. Thanks for sharing your story.
Thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
Sweet, Us. Done.
Awesome.
Well, there you have it. What a story. Just a really passionate, productive, and efficient employee who, like myself and probably like many listeners of this podcast, felt frustrated and stuck in his role and knew that he'd be far happier pursuing his own path. I think the key difference is often between those who live out their dream lives through running their own businesses and those staying stuck in a job are often the factors Jason faced and overcome. 1, being honest about the frustrations of being stuck. 2, seeking counsel from loved and trusted ones. 3, creating a strategy with those same loved and trusted ones, such as his dad, assisting with his mortgage. And 4, being vulnerable enough to potentially look silly by getting schooled up through asking questions, seeking mentorship, and just putting yourself out there. Jason's story is really inspiring. I love how he rocks up to a graphic designer in Papakura and says he wants to make a website but doesn't know how. And also credit to the designer who gave him a shot before seeing any runs on the board. I think that's why they say entrepreneurship is lonely, because often you're the only one who has the vision. Because the vision often comes from your own unique worldview and lifetime worth of experiences and insights. So some will back you, but most will wander past and not really take to it. And you can't be offended. You just got to understand they don't understand it. It's not really in their line of sight. So thanks again to Jason. Congrats to you, Pam, your sons, your family, your amazing group of mentors, and all that have supported your vision. Check him out on all social media platforms, both Jason, the person, and CoverSure New Zealand. I'll have those up on the show notes. Thanks for listening. I hope you're inspired. And finally, a special shout out to my team over there in Clark in Philippines. Thank you so much for hosting myself, Bala, and the team. To Anne and Pablo, Dal and Revs and their partners. Awesome to catch up over there. Thank you so much. Have a great week. That's it from us. God bless.